A top story at this hour. Let's begin by telling you a little about what's going on as far as Punjab Police is concerned. The arrest of Ropa Range DIG Harcharan Singh Bhullar over a massive bribery scandal. This started as a 5 lakh bribe, has unveiled a web of corruption involving crores in cash, gold, luxury vehicles and more. Just take a look at the pictures on your screens at this point in time. Look at the kind of money that has been retrieved in gold ornaments and jewelry that has been retrieved from the officer in question. As the investigation deepens, the question remains, how far does the rot really go? Here's more.
A massive crackdown that has shaken Punjab Police to its core. Roper Range DIG Harcharan Singh Bhullar arrested after being caught red-handed while accepting a 5 lakh rupee bribe from a scrap dealer in Mohali. The CBI's investigation revealed this to be the tip of the iceberg. A WhatsApp call verified by the agency captured Bhullar instructing his middlemen to collect 8 lakh rupees in bribe to settle an FIR and protect the dealer's illegal business. What followed was nothing short of a treasure hunt of corruption. CBI raids led to the seizure of 5 crore rupees in cash, 1.5 kgs of gold, over 15 properties and luxury vehicles including a Mercedes and an Audi. Also recovered were 22 luxury watches, firearms, locker keys and 40 litres of imported liquor. But the truth, it seems, is already catching up, with Bhullar now being remanded to judicial custody till the 31st of October. When confronted, DIG Bhullar, however, insists that he is being framed and that the charges levelled against him are baseless.
वो कह रहे 8 लाख रुपए मांग रहे थे आप बिल्कुल गलत करोड़ों रुपए व्यापारी कह रहे कहंदा जी चाह पानी मांग रहे सी रफा दफा केस करन दी गल सी मेरे कोल केस ही नहीं मैं क्यों मंगाऊंगा फिर फंसाया गया आपको बिल्कुल सर राजनीति साजिश लगदी है कि या कोई अफसरशाही दी लग रही है क्योंकि सीबीआई ने फड़या जी किस तरीके नाल देख
Once a top cop, now the face of a growing rot. DIG Bhullar's fall from grace exposes not just one man but a system under strain. The big question, how deep does the rabbit hole go? With Amit Bharadwaj, Bureau Report, India Today.
So who is Harcharan Singh Bhullar? That's a big question here. The man on your screens is the 2007 batch IPS officer, DIG Ropa Range. That is the position that he's been holding since November 27, 2024. It covers, as far as his jurisdiction is concerned, Mohali, Roopnagar and Fatehgarh Sahib. Also the son of ex-Punjab DGP Mahel Singh Bhullar. He is somebody who's played key role in anti-drug drive under the Maan government. Headed the SIT that grilled Bikram Majithia in the drug case. His brother Kuldeep Singh Bhullar is an ex-Congress MLA. Aseem Basi is getting in more details on that story, joining us from Chandigarh at this point in time. Aseem, the images of, what has been retrieved from the premises of the officer in question have since gone viral. I mean, 5 crores in cash, jewelry worth lakhs of rupees. He, of course, has gone on to say that all of this is a conspiracy against him. But these are charges that the authorities are taking very, very seriously. He's been sent to judicial custody as well. Tell us more about how this case really is unraveling.
Well, yes, DIG HS Bhullar, who was posted as DIG Roper, basically was trapped. A trap was laid on him after a complaint came from a scrap dealer in Fatehgarh Sahib that he was demanding 8 lakh rupees from corruption money from a scrap dealer through a middleman. After that, the CBI got a complaint. They worked on the case and they caught the middleman taking the money, and also HS Bhullar, the DIG, who had confirmed about the money and all. So basically, after that, the CBI searched his residence, a lavish house in Sector 40 of Chandigarh. The raid continued for hours, and after the search, around 7 crores, close to 7 crores of cash was recovered, 1.5 kg gold, 21 luxury watches, an Audi, and Mercedes, and a lot of valuable articles were recovered and property assets too. So now this is definitely, this can be a tip of iceberg also. But the CBI today produced him in the court and the court sent him in jail. But now as the investigation will take speed, it will gather pace. Now many more revelations may come up that how he was collecting the money, from when this collection business was going on, and who else were involved in this entire chain. So this CBI will definitely break this chain as more days come further.
Absolutely. But, I want to understand from you, Asim Basi, who are the people who were in fact paying money and giving jewelry to this officer here? Who are the others who could be possibly involved in this? Tell us about that.
Well, as far as the money is concerned, this is one case. This is one case where he was demanding 8 lakh rupees, and it can be that he, in the previous years also, he might be taking corruption, but that has to be established, and that can be only substantial when the CBI comes up with more evidences. The CBI will definitely, when the CBI must have questioned him, although he's in jail now, they must have questioned him since last night. Definitely HS Bhullar would have answered, or must be saying something that where this money came from, where this gold was accumulated from which sources he made a lot of money. His salary may be around 2,16,000 something, but what kind of cash we have seen at his place and the gold we have seen, that definitely there's much more which has to be revealed. So I think he has to do a lot of answering, and CBI will definitely go down to understand that where these assets have come from and who else are involved in this. Is this the first incident where he has taken bribe, or in the past also he has taken some monthly or something as alleged?
All right, I'm going to leave it there for the moment. Asim Basi getting us up to speed with those details. The CBI investigating this matter started with discussion around 5 lakh rupees. What they found at his premises is 5 crore rupees. Not just that, gold jewelry to the tune of about 1.5 kg has been found. And bribery allegations are now getting investigated here. The nomination for the first phase of Bihar polls is over. Home Minister Amit Shah is in Bihar and has chaired a key meeting with Nitish Kumar. The meeting was held to strategize NDA's campaign for the polls in the state. The Home Minister also addressed a public rally in Bihar's Chapra and predicted MGB's loss, Mahagathbandhan's loss in the upcoming elections. Also attacked the RJD and the opposition, saying that Lalu Yadav and Rabari Devi brought Jungle Raj to Bihar. Meanwhile, confusion persists in the Mahagathbandhan. The Congress released a list of 48 candidates last night. According to our sources, the Congress demanded 65 seats. RJD offered only 58. However, RJD is yet to release its first list. And under sustained pressure from the RJD, the Congress has changed its candidate from the Jale seat. The party has now nominated Rishi Mishra from here. The party wanted to field Mohammad Naushad Alam from this constituency. Remember, the Prime Minister and his mother were abused at Naushad Alam's rally. On the other hand, Vikashsheel Insan Party, the VIP party's national convener, Mukesh Sahni, has now announced that he will not contest the upcoming elections and will instead campaign across the state for alliance partners. He's also reiterated his claim to the post of Deputy Chief Minister if the Mahagathbandhan returns to power.
छपरा परिमंडल के लोग विकास चाहते हैं या जंगल राज? लालू प्रसाद एंड राहुल एंड कंपनी विकास दे सकती है क्या? और आप एनडीए पर भरोसा करिए, जंगल राज को हम आने नहीं देंगे, बिहार में घुसने नहीं देंगे।
आपस में विभेद है ना, सब अपना मनामानी कर रहे हैं। वहाँ कहिए कि एकता नहीं बनी, जिसके चलते सारी बात हो रही है। और स्वाभाविक है, वो लोग सब पद के लोभी हैं, उन लोगों के पास कोई मुद्दा नहीं है। सिर्फ और सिर्फ ये है कि कौन कितना सीट हथिया में और कौन चीफ मिनिस्टर हुए, इसका होड़ है। लेकिन यहाँ तो विकास के लेकर लोग चले हैं, चाहे नरेंद्र मोदी जी का मामला हो या नीतीश कुमार का मामला हो, सामाजिक समरसता काम किए हैं, लॉ एंड ऑर्डर किए हैं, विकास किए हैं।
रहा कितने सीटों पर समझौता हुई, कैसे समझौता हुई,
सब जानकारी आपको 1-2 दिन में पता चल जाएगा।
आप कहीं से चुनाव लड़िएगा कि नहीं?
नहीं, इस बार चुनाव नहीं लड़ना है और हमारा उद्देश्य है कि बिहार में हमारी सरकार बने और 243 सीट पर जाके प्रचार करें और जिसकी मैक्सिमम सीट कैसे जीता जाए इसके लिए मेरा संघर्ष रहेगा। इस बार मैं चुनाव नहीं लड़ रहा।
मालूम चल रहा है कि आप राज्यसभा में जा रहे हैं।
तो वो ठीक है, वो सरकार बना के यहाँ डिप्टी सीएम बनना है, राज्यसभा नहीं जाना है, यहाँ डिप्टी सीएम बनना है।
All right, let's tell you a little about the Mahagathbandhan seat tussle here and what the inside scoop is. We're getting you that on India Today. What's the flashpoint here? Number 1, contention over 15 seats of Mukesh Sahani. Flashpoint number 2, Mukesh Sahani was eyeing some specific 15 seats. Also, the big question, RJD was willing to offer 12 seats, but Sahani was adamant. Also, Mukesh Sahani wants to be declared Deputy Chief Minister if at all the Mahagathbandhan is voted to power. Rohit Singh is joining us from Patna for more details. Piyush Mishra live with us from Patna as well. Rohit, it's clear that Sahani is upset. I mean, on the day the nominations are getting filed, he decides to, not field himself, not file for the nominations, but field his own brother. Instead, talk to us a little about what else are you picking up as far as Sahani's disgruntlement here is concerned.
No, it's not that Sahani is discontent. Sahani was being over-ambitious. 60 seats is what he was demanding in the Mahagathbandhan. And that is not possible for RJD to give him 60 seats. Second point of bone of contention, he wanted that he should be declared as the Deputy Chief Minister. Now, keeping in mind the background of and the track record of Mukesh Sahni, very unreliable politician. And Tejasvi Yadav as well as the Congress never trusted him, especially Tejasvi Yadav, because you never know when when he will switch sides. He can go to the NDA camp also, he can be with the Mahagathbandhan, so he is a very unreliable politician. Tejasvi Yadav knew this, and that is why he did not want to declare him as the Deputy Chief Minister candidate. So now what we are learning is that finally his numbers have been brought down to about 15. 15 seats is what Mukesh Sahni has got in fact, and he himself will not be fighting the Bihar Assembly elections. He has fielded his brother from the Warabaram seat in Darbhanga. So now remains to be seen what happens next, but Sahni in fact really has made life very, very miserable for Tejasvi Yadav, RJD and the Congress in the Mahagathbandhan in the last 1 week or so.
Okay, yes, we've seen fair amount of back and forth, haven't we? Rohit, be with us. Piyush also is with us for the very latest on that. Piyush, tell us about what the RJD is thinking as far as, this posturing really from Sahani is concerned. What do they think of this entire business of sulking that's happening on the part of Sahani here?
Well, absolutely. Mukesh Sahni continues to sulk, and now he has decided not to even contest the elections. He has said that he is going to campaign for Mahagathbandhan to ensure the win of Mahagathbandhan on all 243 seats. And what we were told is that today he was going to file nomination from Gurugram seat, but he now has declared his brother as the candidate from that particular seat. This shows as to how Mukesh Sahni is completely, unhappy with the seat-sharing alliance. Like Rohit also mentioned that yes, he was over ambitious, to which RJD never believed him. We remember that during the last assembly elections, he had left the press conference and had decided to fight elections with NDA. So this shows how he cannot be trusted. But now, the date of filing nomination of the first phase of elections has now come to an end. Despite the first date coming to an end, this Mahagathbandhan has not been able to release its final seat sharing formula. There are various seats on which Mahagathbandhan parties are yet to declare their candidates. We'll have to wait and watch for how long this confusion will continue.
All right, I'm going to leave it there for the moment. Piyush Mishra getting asked those details. Also thanking Rohit, my colleague there, getting in more on that story from Patna. It's the city really where all the action is as far as this back and forth and these discussions on seat sharing is concerned. From Bihar to Gujarat, now a major cabinet reshuffle in the state. Chief Minister Bhupendra Patel today expanded his cabinet to 25 members, appointing Home Minister Harsh Sanghvi as the new Deputy Chief Minister. The swearing-in was graced by Union Home Minister Amit Shah and BJP Chief JP Nadda, underscoring the party's commitment to strong leadership in Gujarat. This major reshuffle saw all 16 previous ministers resign to pave the way to fresh faces, including 19 new inductees like BJP MLA Rivaba Jadeja, the wife of cricketer Ravindra Jadeja. The new cabinet reflects a diverse caste composition with strong representation from OBCs, Patidars, tribals, scheduled castes and others, signaling BJP's strategic balancing ahead of upcoming challenges like local polls, for example. With the assembly strength allowing a maximum of 27 ministers, the reshuffle marks a crucial step in consolidating BJP's power in the state. We're getting you all the details as far as the representation within the Gujarat cabinet here is concerned. Patidar, scheduled castes, all tribals getting representation here, including OBCs as well. Tribals, scheduled castes, Patidars and the OBC also signaling BJP's strategic balancing act ahead of the upcoming challenges. It's a rejig of the cabinet that we're getting you details of. Harsh Sanghvi gets a new post as the new Deputy Chief Minister of Gujarat. The swearing-in was graced today by Home Minister Amit Shah and BJP Chief JP Nadda, underscoring the party's commitment to strong leadership in this state. Among the others who gained were the wife of Ravindra Jadeja, Rivaba Jadeja, who's been elevated and now is a minister in the state. The swearing-in ceremony today was attended by Union Home Minister Amit Shah and BJP National President JP Nadda. This major reshuffle saw all 16 previous ministers resign. I'm now going to go straight across to Brijesh Doshi for more details on that story. The big takeaway here really is the manner in which Harsh Sanghvi again has been elevated to the post of the Deputy Chief Minister. Here, all calculations kept in mind as far as representation and caste combinations are concerned. Brijesh.
Sneha, definitely the combination has BJP is always taking care of all the caste combination as well as all the regional balance, be it Saurashtra, be it North Gujarat, be it South Gujarat, or be it central Gujarat as well. At this time, we can see the combo of from all the zones. All the communities, we have Kshatriyas in the form of Rivaba Jadeja and Mahida as well. Two Kshatriya ministers are there in the cabinet as well. 6 new Patidar faces are in the cabinet. CM is also one of the Patidar face. So total 7 Patidar ministers in the cabinet, 8 OBCs. OBCs are always higher in the population. They are the huge population of the OBCs, and that's why the weightage of the OBCs are higher than other community. And 8 OBC ministers are there in the cabinet. So this is showing that how BJP is planning for the local body elections as well, because from in January or February, the local body elections will be held in Gujarat, where there is 27% OBC reservation will be implemented from this election. So that's why the core focus on the OBC faces as well. New OBC faces have been inducted. So all kind of mixtures have been taken care. All the regional balance, the zone-wise balance was taken care, and the most serious part is that most of the ministers, the new faces, are the first-time MLAs. Rivaba Jadeja, Pradyumansi Jadeja, Pradyumansi Vaja, Trikam Changa, all the new faces are first-time MLA. So they have shown the High Command has shown the great responsibility to trust to these newcomers. You have to perform, and then you will get the reward.
You know, I want to take from or continue from what you really said, that you have to perform and then you can keep your job in that sense, isn't it? So talk to us about the reasons why such a big reshuffle really was required, you know. What is the inside track of what you're getting as far as the previous ministers were concerned vis-a-vis the performance of the government? A great deal of dissatisfaction, I would presume.
Sneha, there are two things behind this big reshuffle. One thing is that when BJP won 156 seats in the after 2022 assembly elections, they made a very small ministry. Only 16 members were there in the Bhupendra Patel cabinet. So there was some holes in the all the caste equation or there was not proper balance of all the zones because it was very small ministry. Earlier it was decided that after 1 year we will expand the ministry, but for some reasons, because of the Sangathan Parva of the BJP or Lok Sabha election of 2024 Lok Sabha election, it didn't happen, and that's why this was the first reason. The second reason is because of the small ministry. All the ministers have more than 3 or 4 important portfolios, due to which they were overburdened. And they were not able to perform the way
So
if you
better
have 1 or 2
governance was
big
one of the
portfolio
reasons.
in the cabinet.
And of course, the caste calculations that had to be kept in mind, Brijesh, is what you're telling us. I'm going to thank you for the moment getting in those details at this point in time. Moving on, today, India marks a major leap in its defense journey. The indigenous Tejas, in fact, make Mark 1A sleeker, smarter and deadlier, making its maiden flight from Nashik, with Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, who unveiled the jet as HAL opening up a new production line that signals a bold new era of Make in India and the Indian Air Force. Manjeet Negi sent us this report earlier.
Today marks a major leap for India's defense capabilities. The indigenous Tejas Mark 1A makes its maiden flight from Nashik. And with it, India's air power takes to newer heights. In a high-profile ceremony, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh unveiled the first Tejas Mark 1A to roll out from HAL's brand new production line. This is not just a test flight, it's the start of a new era. Sleeker, deadlier, smarter. The Mark 1A is a 4.5 generation multi-role combat jet, built with 64% indigenous content. It boasts 9 weapon hardpoints, a cutting-edge ISA radar, electronic warfare systems, and can carry missiles like Astra and advanced air-to-air missiles, all made in India.
काफ़ी हद तक यानी कि 60% से ज़्यादा ये जो लड़ाकू विमान है ये स्वदेशी है। अगर इसके हथियारों की, इसकी मारक क्षमता की हम बात करें तो इसमें चाहे एयर टू एयर जो मिसाइल है अस्त्रा के अलावा उसके साथ ही एयर टू सरफेस मिसाइल की बात की जाए या फिर लेजर गाइडेड बॉम्ब की बात की जाए, सभी तरह के आधुनिक मिसाइल और हथियारों से इसको लैस किया गया है।
And the production is just getting started. HAL's third LCA line is now operational, aiming to deliver 83 Mark 1As by 2029. A fresh order for 97 more jets was inked just weeks ago. A big boost for Make in India.
क्योंकि मिग 21 लड़ाकू विमानों के फेज आउट होने के बाद भारतीय वायुसेना के पास जो लड़ाकू विमानों की स्क्वाड्रन है वो लगातार कम हो रही है। ऐसे में अब थोड़ी देर से ही सही लेकिन LCA मार्क 1A जो कि एडवांस वर्जन है LCA का 4.5 जनरेशन ये एयरक्राफ्ट है।
With the retirement of the 2 MiG-21 squadrons last month, the Indian Air Force needs new wings fast. And Tejas is filling that gap.
अब हार्डवेयर इसमें पूरा रेडी है, हर हिसाब से ये रेडी है। इंजन की दिक्कत है, अगर इंजन आ गए तो एयरक्राफ्ट जहाज पूरा तैयार है। बस ये वेपन ट्रायल्स जो है हम कर रहे हैं मिसाइल्स के वगैरह, अगर वो खत्म हो गए तो उसके बाद डिलीवरी की कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। नंबर्स 180 हमारे पास ऑर्डर है और हमारा कमिटमेंट है कि 30 to 33 तक हम पूरे जहाज दे देंगे।
देश और दुनिया में युद्ध के हालात के बीच आने वाले दिनों की जो लड़ाइयां हैं वो स्वदेशी हथियारों के बल पर लड़ी जाएंगी। इसी को लेकर स्वदेशी पर सरकार का बहुत जोर है। और अगर हम HAL की बात करें तो HAL ने LCA Mark 1A जो लड़ाकू विमान है उसके साथ ही STT-40 यानी कि हिंदुस्तान टर्बो ट्रेनर 40 भी तैयार करने के लिए यहाँ पर एक असेंबली लाइन नासिक में तैयार की है, जहाँ पर आने वाले दिनों में 29 STT-40 जो ट्रेनर हैं वो तैयार किए जाएंगे।
The Tejas Mark 1A isn't just a fighter. It's a symbol of India's ability to build world-class combat jets at home. And with the Mark II and AMCA programs on the horizon, India's flight path is firmly set towards fifth generation future.
Defence Minister Rajnath Singh will unveil the first Tejas LCA Mark 1A fighter jet from HAL new Nasik production line on October 17. During the event, Rajnath Singh will also inaugurate a second production line for the STT-40 trainer aircraft at the same facility. The production will enhance the overall strength and capability of the Indian Air Force. With camera person Anil Jaiswal, this is Manjit Negi for India Today.
And we have some news coming in at this point in time. Prime Minister Narendra Modi meets Sri Lankan Prime Minister Harini Amarasuriya in Delhi. Modi, Lankan Prime Minister, discuss a range of issues such as development cooperation and the welfare of Indian fishermen. The Prime Minister Modi has said, glad to welcome Sri Lankan Prime Minister. As close neighbours, our cooperation holds immense importance for the prosperity of our two peoples as well as the shared region. That's what the Prime Minister has said in his meeting with the Sri Lankan Prime Minister, talking about the equation that both, in fact, the leaders have vis-a-vis the shared relationship and concerns as well. These are details that we have with us at this point in time of Prime Minister Narendra Modi meeting with his Sri Lankan counterpart. Prime Minister Modi meeting with Sri Lankan Prime Minister Harini Amarasuriya in Delhi today. He's spoken about the shared relationship and between both the nations. At this point in time, we have these visuals of the Prime Minister, images of both the leaders meeting. He welcomed the Prime Minister and said that her visit would give fresh momentum to the historic and multifaceted India-Sri Lanka ties, recalling his state visit to Sri Lanka earlier this year, during which he held extensive discussions with the Sri Lankan President across a broad spectrum of bilateral cooperation. Welcome back. In a major move to protect consumers like you and I, the Food Safety and Standards Authority of India, FSSAI, has issued a strict directive on the labeling and sale of ORS, oral rehydration salts solution, commonly known as ORS. Effective immediately, no brand can label their product as ORS unless it strictly follows the formula recommended by the World Health Organization. This means any product failing to meet these guidelines cannot be called ORS and, importantly, cannot be sold in the markets, is what the FSSAI has said. You know who's behind this? It's a pediatrician. But she's been fighting this battle for a very, very long time. Dr. Sivaranjani Santosh, who has been looking at this and actively campaigning against misleading ORS products, welcomed the announcement because she had been fighting this battle for the longest time now. Dr. Sivaranjani Santosh, pediatrician, who's been fighting this, like I said, is now joining us. Thank you so much for your time. First of all, a big congratulations to you. You've really won this very long, hard-fought battle, haven't you?
Thank you so much. It's people's win, parents' win.
It is, you know. As a pediatrician, tell us, what were these so-called ORS products that you saw in the market that upset you so much?
See, not only as a pediatrician, as a parent also, if your child is getting something which is making him more sick, you go to a pharmacy for something to give relief to your child, to make your child better, and you're deceptively being given something which can worsen your child's condition, how would you feel as a parent? And as a pediatrician, if I'm seeing so many kids suffer, how would I feel? So, and we know that in the under 5 age group in India, 13 out of 100 deaths are due to diarrhea. And if I, as a parent, am going to the pharmacy and asking for oral rehydration solution, which is the wonder drug of the 20th century, which has saved millions of lives, and I am given this, which has 10 times more sugar, I'm given this, which has 8 times more sugar, and something which worsens my child's diarrhea, and my child ends up getting hospitalized or my child dies, then who is the culprit here? So that's why, as a parent, as a pediatrician, it angered me, it made me very angry. How can they do it? How can anybody do it? How can anybody so deceptively label something and market it everywhere in the pharmacies, in the hospitals, everywhere in the schools? And when we said, no, you can't do this, they add a micro mini disclaimer, do not give during diarrhea. Nobody can read this. So finally, in 2018, I started raising awareness through social media. And from 2021 onwards, I started writing to the health ministry about the same. First to the CDSCO, and the CDSCO said it's not our job because we didn't give permission to these liquids. You have to reach out to the FSSAI. I reached out to the FSSAI. Finally, I reached out to the Central Health Minister at that time. And they directed FSSAI to look into it. And on 8th April 2022, FSSAI issued an order that no food or beverage should have ORS on their label or on the trademark with a prefix or suffix. Absolutely. But then in July, on the 14th of July 2022, they reverted the order and said they can put a disclaimer and sell. This is not an ORS. You're saying this is medicine here and you're saying this is not a medicine. What kind of logic is this?
Well, yes.
And how many of us actually read disclaimers? Of course, we are supposed to read, but in India, there are so many illiterate people, poor people who don't understand the meaning of disclaimer, right? And then in February 2024, they said that any company can launch a new product also, but with the disclaimer. But Zydus launched in 2024 Glucon-D Active ORS, and then some Indo-ORS came there. There was not even the disclaimer. Okay. In 2022, in September, I filed a public interest litigation where the respondents were Central Health Ministry and the concerned companies, Kenvue Company, which is a spin-off from Johnson & Johnson, and the Reddy Labs and other companies. So, yeah, but the court hearings were still going on. But I got tremendous public support from parents, doctors, journalists, podcasters, Endocrine Society of India, Women Pediatricians Forum, my teachers, my professors from JIPMER, and most importantly, my family who stood by me in this battle. And we made it happen. We made it happen, and now FSSAI issued an order on the 15th of October 2025 that the 8th April 2022 order stands valid, and no food or drink can have ORS on its label.
That's right.
With a prefix or suffix in the label or in the trademark ever. They cannot sell it. And if any of you see these drinks in the market, you please complain to the FSSAI.
All right, so that's a big victory in that sense for you. I'm going to thank you for joining in to tell our viewers the product that the doctor was talking about is actually this similar products of this kind available in the market. The labeling is misleading. There's a tiny little disclaimer here says this is only a trademark and does not represent its true nature. So a product is saying it's not representing a true nature, not a WHO oral rehydration salts. That's what this product says. The FSSAI has finally gone ahead and said this can't be sold as an ORS product. It is not ORS electrol, which is of course the popular sachet that we usually consume, which has in fact WHO supported ORS written on it, is what really is the actual ORS. Now, with Diwali just around the corner, food safety teams across multiple districts are cracking down hard on adulteration. The food department in UP has launched a district-wide campaign since October 8, seizing over 13 quintals of adulterated food, destroying 28 quintals of mawa and paneer on your screens at this point in time. That's a crackdown by the FSSAI. In Ghaziabad as well, food safety officials targeted the increasing supply of fake paneer. Remember, it's available throughout the year, but the demand during this time of the year, of course, surges. And sweets also, as well as adulterated milk and khoya. In Ghazipur, seizing about 1,400 kilos of fake desi ghee, hundreds of kilos of adulterated sweets and chutneys during a major Dhanteras raid. Not just UP, in Uttarakhand, several food samples failed lab tests. More samples have been sent. In Rajasthan, a raid in a sauce factory exposed a shocking sight. Thousands of kilos of rotten, insect-infested pulp and sauce were destroyed on the spot.
लगभग पूरे जनपद में ही छापेमारी हो रही है और आज इस समय मैं बुढ़ाना से बात कर रही हूँ। एसडीएम मैडम के निर्देश पर आज बुढ़ाने में कार्रवाई की जा रही है और पूरे जनपद में प्रतिदिन कार्रवाई हो रही है। अभी तक 66 सैंपल्स इस ड्यूरेशन में हमने लिए हैं, जिसमें करीब 13 कुंटल का फूड आर्टिकल हमने सीज किया है, जिसकी कीमत 2.25 लाख रुपए है करीब।
जो गाड़ी है जिसका नंबर HR73B322 था, जिसे साहिल नाम का व्यक्ति जो है ड्राइव करके ले आया था, उसमें जेके डेयरी यानी जो जंगी डेयरी मिल्क प्लांट है, ये मस्जिद पलवल में है, वहाँ से इसको लाया गया था। तो इसमें कार्रवाई की गई है, नमूने की कार्रवाई की गई है। साथ ही साथ जो ड्रमों में रखा गया था, काफ़ी अस्वच्छित तरीके से रखा गया था, उसकी क्वालिटी पर संदेह था। तो इसमें जो है नमूने लेकर के इसको विनष्ट कराया गया है। जो शमशान घाट है यहाँ पर, इस पे मोहन नगर में, यहाँ पर इसको विनष्ट कराया गया है।
आसन्न त्योहारों को देखते हुए कि बाज़ारों में मिष्ठान इत्यादि की जो निर्माण है बढ़ गया है, इसके क्रम में जिला प्रशासन के निर्देश पे हमारी कई टीमें हैं खाद्य सुरक्षा संबंधित, जो विभिन्न जगहों पे आज छापामारी है, जिसमें लगभग 150 किलोग्राम खोया और 15 किलो छेना और 50 किलो रंगीन चटनी ये विनष्ट किया गया है। और 1439 किलोग्राम देसी घी जो आयल फार्म में दिख रहा था और अधोमानक को प्रथम दृष्टया ही प्रतीत हो रहा था, उसको सीज किया गया है। और विभिन्न जगहों पे, अन्य जगह पे भी छापेमारी हमारी लगातार चल रही है, जिससे कि त्यौहार में लोग मिलावटी और अधोमानक की वस्तुएं का उपभोग न करें।
जनपद बागेश्वर में आज ग्राउंड टीट बाजार हम लोगों ने सैंपलिंग की है, इसमें हमने लड्डू, गुलाब जामुन का नमूने लिए हैं और कार्रवाई आगे निरंतर जारी है। इस वित्तीय वर्ष में हमारे लगभग 7 नमूने जो हैं अधोमानक पाए गए हैं, जिनमें दूध के, दही के, बेसन के और जूस के हैं। और उक्त खाद्य कार्यवाहियों के विरुद्ध सक्षम न्यायालय में वाद दायर करने की प्रक्रिया अग्रतर है।
And as Diwali approaches, the sweet shops are buzzing, kitchens are busy, but behind the festive cheer lies a hidden danger. The soaring demand for paneer and khoya adulteration is on the rise, and what looks like a delicious treat could turn into a health hazard for you and for everyone else who are in fact naive in consuming these food items, thinking that they are clean. India Today investigates as some of the sweets on your plate could be hiding toxic secrets. This report has got to do with toxic paneer and khoya essentially, which are actually the most adulterated food items in the market right now.
As households gear up to make festive sweets, the demand for paneer and khoya soars, making these dairy products prime targets for adulteration. In recent raids across several cities, large quantities of tainted paneer, milk cake and khoya have been seized and destroyed ahead of Diwali. Mixing in non-dairy substitutes or chemicals including milk powder, palm oil, starches or detergents to cut costs or increase volume is the most common type of adulteration seen in these products. In some unregulated units, workers prepare dairy products in unhygienic conditions, with contaminated water and outdated milk, increasing the risk of bacterial infections like E. coli and Salmonella. Experts warn that poor storage and lack of refrigeration further worsen contamination, allowing harmful microbes to multiply rapidly.
So we decided to give you, the consumer, an opportunity, a chance to see if your khoya and your paneer are adulterated or not. You can check it by yourself and it's not too complicated. All that you require is this iodine, which you can pick from any chemist shop. If you think that your source of khoya and paneer are adulterated, this is what you should be doing. Take a piece of paneer and put some iodine on it. The trick is that if it turns black, you know for sure that your khoya or your paneer is adulterated. Look at this. This is completely black. This is turned black. I'm going to give you an example by showing you something which I know is not adulterated, but why not give this a try? This is another piece of paneer and I put some iodine on it once again. Doesn't turn black. Take a look at this. The difference is for you to see. This is adulterated. It's turned completely black. This has not turned black. This is just taken the color of iodine. A similar experiment can be done with khoya as well. Again, a lot of adulterated khoya has been found in the market. Remember, it leads to consuming adulterated products like these, leads to digestive problems. Long-term consumption of these products can also, in fact, lead to kidney damage. And this is something that doctors are reporting on. Khoya again, I'm mixing it with iodine. Take a look at it. Doesn't turn black, which means this khoya also is not adulterated. But this paneer, look at the black layer that has come over it. This is what you should be extremely careful about. These are very common items during Diwali, like we've been telling you, very popular items, and that's how you can check whether your khoya and your paneer are adulterated. It has long-term impact on your health. Short-term impact would be some digestive problems, but if you consume it for a long time, it could actually make you very sick.
Doctors say prolonged consumption of such adulterated food can lead to liver and kidney complications. Children and the elderly are particularly vulnerable as the immune systems struggle to fight the toxic compounds present in fake dairy. Hospitals often see a spike in food poisoning cases during and after the festive season. Medical practitioners urge citizens not to ignore early symptoms like nausea, stomach cramps, vomiting, or a metallic taste after consuming sweets.
And this is a big India Today impact that we are reporting on. Well, just 2 weeks ago, India Today's Ashok Upadhyay and our on-ground team uncovered a startling truth through an RTI, where we found that 31% of ventilators in major Delhi government hospitals, including a government Lok Nayak hospital, were non-functional, many of them bought under the PM CARES Fund. After we aired the story, the government was forced to act. Following a high-level meeting chaired by the Delhi Chief Minister, Lok Nayak Hospital has now issued fresh instructions. Senior nursing officers have been asked to identify and label all non-functional ventilators across departments and moved them to the basement of this surgical block. A clear sign that questions raised by us, by India Today, have finally led to some accountability here. Ventilators that were bought but were not in use. That's the focus. That's the spotlight. In fact, we had put the spotlight on that story. This was through an RTI application, and details of the same we had put out before our viewers. I'm going to go straight across to Milan Sharma, who's got more details on that story. A clear indication, Milan, that questions raised by us have finally led to some sort of an accountability here.
Well, definitely, because the number of ventilators that are operational needed to be checked, and certainly the Minister for Health had visited LNJT Hospital to himself do a recce of the number of ventilators that were there in the hospital. Of course, this kind of checks and balances should happen regularly, and the LNJT administration has assured India Today that all the ventilators that are there are working, and all the non-functional ones have been taken off and put in the basement. And this is a big India Today impact after RTI that revealed certain number of ventilators that were not functional. And you remember how important this equipment is ever since COVID happened. Hospitals are supposed to equip themselves with properly functioning ventilators, and which is a life-saving device for many people. And especially a big government hospital like Lok Nayak that comes under the Delhi government has taken this up very seriously. In fact, the minister also informed India Today in that checkup that we had done in the hospital that all Delhi government hospitals will also have an MRI machine by next year in January.
That's right. Milan, I'm going to leave it at that for the moment to tell our viewers. Just imagine the importance of, ventilators and critical medical equipment like that during a course of an emergency, like a pandemic-like situation. COVID had seen the requirement of this soar up, and Delhi government, all these hospitals, in fact, many of these hospitals had these ventilators that were not being used. They were there, but not being used. Finally, here, the authorities evidently have woken up. Well, that also, in fact, brings us to the end of this edition. On the other side, a special show on the state of war Bihar, but through the lens of artificial intelligence. More on that in just a bit.